So, all right, it is 6:36 p.m. on December 19th of 2024. I'm going to call the Board of Directors of RPMUD to order. Present are Tom Vandiver, Carl Sakacious, and Julie Gilmer. First item on the agenda is to review the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Directors for November 7th. Anybody have any questions, concerns, comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve them?
I don't think there's got any comment. Yeah, I'll make a motion, we accept as noted.
Okay, Tom making a motion, Carl seconded, all in favor? Aye. Received comments from the public. There's nobody here but our consultants. Okay. See, told you we were gonna be quick tonight.
That's good.
Okay, financial and bookkeeping matters. Bookkeeper's report, tax assessor, collector's report, review of investments, and payment of district bills.
Okay. We left off with $63,699. Transferred from y'all's operating account, your online account, to $81,000, and from your Texas class account, $100,000 to cover expenses. We processed payment to CenterPoint for your utility expense and had bank service charges. Under checks previously approved, we had one from Mr. Gary, this is for the roof. Then we have CenterPoint, and then Energy, Consolidated, and we're still holding on to the 2 blank checks that's for your joint drainage plant and your STP accounts.
Okay.
Today for y'all's approval, we've got Alpha Lawn Care, CNC Water Services, this is for a motor installation, Consolidated, Energy, GFL for sludge removal, bookkeeping fees, your permit fees for Lone Star Groundwater, Montgomery Central Appraisal District, this is your quarterly fees, MOC for maintenance and operations, prepared publications, operations admin, your October billing for the joint drainage and your STP account, legal fees, Synaptic for surveillance, this is several months of them, so I guess it's just getting caught up on those invoices. TCEQ for water permit fees, this is the second one you guys have seen come through. Next month you'll see one more for the annual regulatory fees. Touchstone for your emergency alert system. All of your ongoing engineering projects are listed. Refunds follow, and then we've got some new blank checks to replace the ones we issued. Ending balance of $47,218. Your next page. Your online account, I guess we've got lines back on my printer. We've had texts out for 2 weeks now, so sorry if y'all's has a line. Accounts receivable came in at $85,000. We've got the transfer over to your general operating fund and customer returned NSF items. As always, it's not y'all's account going NSF, it's people paying in. Including your Texas class account, we have total operating funds of $799,830. Your tax account, some taxes trickling in there, $72,000, and a service charge listed brings us to $160,696. You will see we have crept up to 5.93% collected as of 11/30, so we're slowly, surely getting up there. Your next page is your capital projects fund. Transferring from your Texas class account to cover today's expenses, we earned interest and service charges on the account. Today we have C3 Constructors for pay estimate number 4, INSA 2 form for pay estimate number 3 and 4, McDonald for pay estimate number 8, and then lastly your Vogler and Spencer invoices. This is the first time y'all are seeing invoices for them for the sanitary sewer rehab phase 2 and 711 Holly Springs going directly through your capital projects funds. We have changed that as of this month. This is some of their October bills, so that now going forward, all of those invoices are being split in your capital projects fund and billed back to East Plantation directly. So that went into effect. Including your Texas class account, we're at $1,432,000 remaining in your capital projects. Debt service account earning interest brings us to $389,000. Your park account earning interest brings us to $5,543. Your next page, your sewer treatment plant. Receiving in payments from River Plantation and East Plantation. Service charges are listed. We issued both of your blanks, so one to Republic and one to Energy. Then today we have your bookkeeping fees and your operations. New blank checks follow. Ending balance isn't a deficit. East Plantation met last night and we did have blank checks done for them so that we can use those for your November billing. Your next page is your joint drainage account, the same idea here, so receiving payment from both participants. We issued your energy blank check. Today y'all have bookkeeping fees and engineering fees. Ending balance, again, is in a deficit, not a problem, that'll be billed to East Plantation, once we have that billing done. Your profit and loss for general operating fund follows. Maintenance taxes, again, your tax account's collecting some of them, but that won't really be transferred over, and the bulk of that won't be collected until January, February time period. I really think it'll be more in February this year. A lot of the appraisal districts sent out things late, so we had a major delay, and across the board, I think really a big bulk's gonna come in probably February.
We were just talking about that, and I don't think we've gotten ours yet.
And I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of, I don't know what was going on with the appraisal districts, but I know Montgomery County was really late, so you're gonna see payments coming in later. Your October, so that middle column, October and November, first 2 months, we've collected total income of $154,000. Your water and sewer expenses bring us on to the next page, and all of your administrative expenses. That middle column, all the way down the bottom, shows that we are in a net deficit of $199,000. That is because of the timing. Once we get maintenance taxes rolling in, this number will flip around, so it's not something to be concerned with. Your next page is your profit and loss for your STP fund. We're showing October because that billing has been done. So you'll see the zeros at the bottom showing we've billed everything out to everybody. And the exact same idea on your next page for your joint drainage. All zeros across the bottom. Is everything I have for you guys? Do y'all have any questions? Oh, I did the first financial check for the safety deposit box. I just handwrote it. It's $65, so I'll send that over to them. And I'll get y'all to sign this as well.
Yeah, we'll sign with the rest of them. Okay. I did want to say the roof, apparently the guy did a good job, because they have, and with all the rain we've had, they said they haven't seen any leaks, so apparently, yeah, so, okay. All right, can I get somebody to make a motion approving the, Mark Denham just walked in too, Davis.
Make a motion to receive, accept financial reports.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Carl seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 4, discuss attorney attendance at meetings. I don't know who added that to the agenda, so,
That would be me.
okay.
Mark, go ahead, Mark.
No, it was just, being the newest on the board, nobody really explained to me. I know there's been some lawsuits in the past, and then we have a normal operating, business to business or meeting to meeting, but just trying to do our, being good stewards. It was just, I wanted to see why we had 3 attorneys for each meeting, and if there were some opportunities to save in that cost, and particularly since the fees that I see is just a sum. I haven't seen any type of
They're attached
all of
to
it.
the bill.
Oh, it's attached, so you have to go through each bill?
You have to go through the checks.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
meant, each check. So that's and we had talked a little bit about it, so I think Dennis has an understanding as well.
So do we need to?
Yeah.
Well, I just think we ought
do something,
to,
or?
I think we ought to just visit about it and see if there's room for adjustment.
Well,
And Mark, I did just get your email and I responded to it, and I will tell you, I've gotten the same question from other board members about the same post.
Yeah,
And I want to just, on the record, make very clear that that credit was not $600, it was $750. And it was on the August invoice, and I replied to your email with a copy of the invoice.
okay,
And that credit is the first entry at the top of that invoice. And you'll also see in that invoice, that is the form of invoice that comes to the district every month. It is in the, it's actually posted with, all of the invoices are posted with the bookkeeper's report. So all of that information is up on the website every month. So not only for the board to see, but for the public to see. And it includes a time entry describing the work that was completed, the hourly rate that applies for the attorney, the amount of time that was spent, and the total charge for each entry. And it's done by matter number. And so typically we send what I would call an 002 bill, which is our general legal bill, and you'll see that at the top of each bill. So in the event that there's a special matter like an election, for example, we would have a separate matter for that. But on a month-to-month basis, it is a, general counsel, general legal work.
Okay. And then let's talk about, is there a need for all three of you each meeting, or should that be considered? Is there any room for savings there? I feel like we should spend our money like it's our own money.
I mean,
Or partially it is.
we're spending a couple of $100 a meeting
Really? Per person or
No.
or total?
combined. You're spending less than $1,000 per meeting.
Okay, I just thought we should review it since there's been some questions out there.
I will make two comments. One, and you're gonna find out I'm not feeling good tonight.
Oh,
so.
I can tell you
Okay.
don't sound good.
Um,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
And I apologize again for being late.
That's okay.
Traffic's crazy.
For what, my comment is, one, we can be good shepherds of the people's money, but we do not have one or two people in this district that make decisions for this board. If one or two people want to make decisions for this board, they need to be on this board. Okay? My second comment is, if you want to start doing minutes, you can start doing the minutes in the meetings. What you will have to do, because Carl's already got 3 or 4 projects every month he does. So if you want to do the minutes of the meeting, you will just have to get them to the attorney 2 weeks before the meetings, the next meeting, so they can go over them and review them and that. So you're more than welcome to start doing that next month if you want to.
Well, let's think about it. I just wanted to get it out in a public meeting that has
I
been
think we've
reviewed.
discussed it multiple times.
Well,
So,
all right, and then, of course, I wasn't sure what dictated when they had to drive here versus not. Most of the time they're virtually, which that saves, I'm sure, right?
Right, I will tell you, Mark, that the times that I have come out have only really been, since we started doing this, really kind of on special matters. And there have been a couple of times that I have sent Austin, and that actually is that credit that we were talking about.
Yes, sir.
The first time the time went through, and since then we have written off his drive time. And candidly, that's just so that y'all can meet Austin. You and I have not met face to face many times, but I've been to many board meetings, and I thought that there would be some value in y'all meeting Austin, since he was working on the stuff in the district, and so those were meetings that I couldn't attend. And so he went, and that was the credit that we provided. So you were not charged for his drive time.
Right.
But that is why we attend remotely, because it
saves.
reduces the bill materially.
Well,
So
I'm personally satisfied. I just felt like it should be covered. Maybe it has been covered in the past. Maybe I wasn't part of that meeting. I know there was one meeting I was part of where we talked about that possible double billing or whatever, and I thought it was resolved, but I appreciate the extra explanation and opportunity just to put it out in an open meeting again.
of course.
is that all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 5. Anybody else, you got any comments? Comments?
No?
No? Okay. Number 5, violation of district rules. Public hearing for violation of district rules and damage to district property and assessment of penalties.
Julie, we don't
anything?
have any tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we
Okay.
need to talk about this?
In executive. So, we're not gonna talk about that thing. Okay, park maintenance matters. I think everything's been going good, except what about the sprinklers?
They had looked into it and they were getting all the materials. I didn't get contact back from them as far as if they had. I know the weather's been a little rough between the meetings and stuff.
There was some mention of electrical.
Yeah, they're tying into the lift station up there behind Tom Phillips Park.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe they were able to make that connection when they came out here, but they did. I think they thought it was closer than it actually was because it's in the middle of the fairway. So,
Okay.
they were getting the materials together to complete that.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, number 7, operators report.
Alrighty, good evening, should have a copy of our report in front of you. For the month of November, we should 977 connections, 39 of those being vacant. Received 83,284.21 in revenue. Beneath that is the bill of consumption by meter type for the period ending November 18th. Total production just over 11.8 million gallons. You'll see that we billed out the 9.5, so that y'all's pump versus bill, that 79%, that's down considerably from what you guys typically see, and that's in large part due to some work done at Water Plant 2. We had to take down that tank. We had one leak in the district. To the right there, Lone Star Groundwater, y'all are always in more than good shape, but your bookkeeper mentioned that the check to Lone Star Groundwater, just by way of reminder, that's an annual fee statement. So you're essentially you're paying for all of your permitted water for 2025, and that permit term is a calendar year. So that's what you're seeing there. We took the 6 bacteriological samples as required for the TCEQ, and those results were good. Middle of the page is your wastewater plant, in good shape there, 61% of the permitted capacity, but again, plants operating within permit. Your average daily flows up a little bit. That's just in large part due to the rain there. You see we recorded just over 10 inches of rain for the calendar month of November. Your reuse is down. Obviously, it was wet. Only sold 300,000 gallons, or sent 300,000 gallons to the golf course. Generated $144.60 in revenue. Beneath that, your age receivable is good shape, but the bulk of that really just being so good shape. Consumption beneath that, and then there towards the bottom is the graph that shows your accountability 23/24. The following 2 pages is the DMR that was submitted to the TCEQ on the district's behalf. Again, I point you towards kind of that 3rd column in from the right. If you run down the list there, you'll see zeros there, which is what you want to see, indicating that there's no exceedances or violations. So all good there. Outside of that, I don't have much else to tell you. It's been relatively quiet. I know Mario's been busy, Taylor's been busy.
So on the illegal connection, did we remove?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have they paid for reconnect?
I believe I did, and yeah, so we pulled it, and a police report, we did the whole,
Okay.
the whole drill.
I don't get it.
That can't be the only thing they're stealing.
I know. I know. Yeah. Imagine that concept. Okay. All right. I don't see it. Do I have a motion to accept the operator's report?
I make a motion, we accept the report.
I second that.
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, engineer's report.
Alrighty, first item is the permits. We did receive the draft permit for the stormwater pollution prevention plan. Currently, that's my nightly reading habit. Nothing more on the other stuff. For the joint projects, the East Ditch, still haven't heard anything about from FEMA as far as the release of those funds. I sent out to our Texas Emergency Management correspondent, and he was looking into it. We're still waiting to clean out. Operator came back with a price. We're gonna reach out to Alpha Lawn Care to see if they can do it cheaper since they're on site and working, and I got a couple other contacts I'm gonna reach out to. It's just not
Is Alpha supposed to cut around the ditch?
around the ditch.
Alongside the ditch?
No, they just cut the park and a couple other
So
areas.
there's nobody doing that?
That should be the golf course.
Where
are you
where
talking
specifically are you talking about?
Still that place on Stone Mountain where the washouts happen. You have the bend come across Stonewall Jackson, and then it turns, goes along Stone Mountain, then comes back, and then goes to the sewer plant that way. Right there, there's an empty lot with a slab in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what
And
you're
burned
talking
out
about.
house.
Yeah.
That hasn't been cut since the flood, since the hurricane.
I mean, I didn't.
On the home side? On the house's
Yeah,
side?
on the house side.
But
I would think those are homeowners.
yeah, that's not y'all's
issues.
property.
We have been cutting it, I thought.
I don't think so.
No, we,
Because it still has the washout in it too, you know.
okay. I'll look closer into that, but we have not been maintaining that.
Wouldn't that be the CIA?
No, well, it'd be the homeowner, so whoever owns that property.
But they don't own all the way to the ditch.
Yeah, they do.
I thought we own the waterway, right?
You have
We have an
a,
easement.
you have an easement, for the ditch, but the way it's structured, I mean, it is literally gnat's ass with the concrete channel. Typically, we have a 15-20 foot buffer zone, but not in y'all's case.
Yeah,
It's,
that we
it's,
don't own.
it's,
Yeah.
it's as tight as can be. But yeah, I'll look into that. Wastewater treatment plant rehab is still working. They're finishing up the duct banks and the placement of the conduit. They're also pulling wires. We do have pay application number 4 in the amount of $102,825 that Tiffany mentioned. Holly Springs drainage issue, we're just waiting for the final pay application for that one to close out that project. Sanitary sewer rehab phase 2, we have pay application number 3 in the amount of $342,877 and pay application number 4 in the amount of $147,780. That project's wrapping up, almost complete. For Charles Park irrigation, I mentioned the electrical getting installed. Water plant number 2 electrical, the project's substantially complete. We held a site walk. We did put down a punch list. We'll review the inspection of the tanks. We have recoding in the next bond app, which is pretty much the recommendation from the report. We have verification number 8 this month in the amount of $121,917 that Tiffany mentioned. For Plantation Village, we finally received all the approvals. We did hold a pre-construction meeting. I was supposed to have those contracts. Julie, I'm gonna send them to you to the DocuSign. FEMA public acceptance, you just signed those last documents, so hopefully we'll see that money in the new year. Bond application number 10, we're working on that report. And then the sanitary sewer sinkholes, the pre-construction was held. We're waiting on the contract to mobilize, and I have those contracts tonight to sign in person. Nothing new on 703 Fairway Oaks. Nothing new on the next one. And then 726 Stonewall Jackson, Tom brought to my attention, the operator was dye testing the hole to see if we could locate what's causing it, storm or sanitary. And then I'm revisiting the storm sewer in that area, the videos we did take. Mario's looking into the Biloxi issue as well, so once I hear back from those. If the Stone Mountain or Stonewall Jackson one, if we do find it, we have that sinkhole contractor on site. We may have to change order to the contract depending on how bad it is. So.
Is there a sinkhole on Braxton Bragg?
Braxton Bragg, we didn't have any that far up north. I'll have to look into that one. Where's that?
Somebody just mentioned it to me, that they did report it to the operator.
I know me and the operator have a couple lists that we connect with pretty regularly on, so I may have just missed that one on the update.
In regards to sinkholes, do we take precautions to rope it off, tape it off or anything, even though it might be on private property, to keep people, okay, just make them.
Yeah, if we can get to it and we're notified about it, the operator usually goes out. They at least put some warning tape around it with some
Right.
posts and things like that. If we
Do
feel
our
like it's,
due diligence.
yeah, if we feel like it's really dangerous, we'll have them put orange fencing up,
Right.
to try to really keep it from it. But to at least flag it off enough for people to see it.
Okay, so.
That is all I have.
Questions, comments? Motion to approve the engineer's report?
Yeah, move we accept the engineer's report as given.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, annual eminent domain report. Did we do that last month? No? Okay. Nope, we got you.
So,
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
That's
You know,
okay.
it's funny, I'm sitting here at my computer in front of Teams, and I started to click
Okay.
Teams instead of talking on Skull. This is something we do on an annual basis, as you mentioned, Julie, and state law requires us to file a report with the comptroller because the district has eminent domain authority and document both that authority and any use of that authority, and it is by statute required to preserve that authority. So we just ask you authorize us to complete that filing in your behalf.
do I have a motion to have Smith Murdoch file the eminent domain report?
What are we gonna do?
A motion that we approve that Smith Murdoch complete the eminent domain report?
Yeah, I make a motion that Smith Murdoch complete the eminent domain report.
Do I have a second?
That's it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See, I told you it was gonna be fast. The only other thing I wanted to say, we will be going into executive, I'm guessing, is that correct? Yes, okay, we got, I guess, Carl.
Well, we got that one, paper that was sent to us.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so the only other thing I wanna say in pending business is, the fire department actually has been an asset to this community. They ran 26 calls in 20 days, 25 of those in RP and Mosswood. So,
Most of them medical probably, or?
some medical, some accidents, some, a little bit of everything. So, yeah, so I think they've earned their keep,
Absolutely.
so.
We can save off the heart attack.
Oh, well, so, I don't know if anybody knows, I did send it to, did I send it to you, Davis, about what happened
You did.
like the first 5
You did.
days that we're here?
Unbelievable.
They had a guy that, they were actually coming in the back entrance, and they saw a car in the woods, and they went up to the car and didn't realize somebody was in it at first, and pulled the guy out, and he was having a heart attack, and they saved him, and so they're gonna do an award ceremony and that 43-year-old guy that lives here in RP, so.
Wow.
I was thinking about, didn't you say he survived?
He did survive, yes. Yeah, as of Tuesday, he was, doing good, so. Okay, that's all I got. Anybody else got anything else other than executive session?
Are we gonna talk about the park rules? I know you sent the,
No, we can't, okay, so. Can we talk about that thing in exec? Can we talk about that other issue that I was emailing you about? Can we talk about that in executive?
I think so. I think I know what you're talking about, Julie,
Yeah.
and it's an enforcement matter, and I think we can talk about it in executive
Okay.
session.
Okay, can we talk about it now?
Yep.
Okay, alright, anything else?
Do we have an update on the dog waste stations? How is
I
it?
thought they were installed,
I
right?
did talk to Mario, so I don't know, they've not been
They
installed.
haven't been yet? Okay,
They've been a bit delayed, but they should be wrapped up in the
Okay.
ground here shortly.
okay.
They're waiting for the ground to get frozen.
Okay, alright,
So Mara's guys do their best digging.
there you go. Alright, we're going to adjourn to go into executive session, and, I guess, should I say, we need to discuss also, changing next month's meeting, cause that's AWBD.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay, so we fall,
On the 23rd.
okay.
those aren't signed yet.
What are y'all thinking? I mean, I could, if you wanted to do it a day earlier than normal, I could do that if that works for everybody.
That work for everybody?
Sure.
The 22nd?
The 22nd?
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, 22nd? Okay,
Like 25.
okay,
First time I've had to write that.
yeah. Alright, we will put you down for the 22nd. So our next monthly meeting will be January 22nd, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. So, alright, we're going to adjourn into executive. So, go. Alright, we are back into open session at 7:25 p.m. The only thing we need to discuss is that we did change the date of the meeting of January 2025 to January 22nd of 2025 for our next regularly scheduled meeting. Other than that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Hey.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, All right, you guys have a Merry Christmas, and we will see you after the first of the year.
Thanks so very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Right.
Bye-bye.